Hello, this is Tyson Farmer from TysonFarmer.com. This video assumes you're already a vocal student of mine. However, if you want your own vocal exercises customized to your pitch range, check out my online lessons profile link below to sign up for a free demo lesson. And I will figure out your complete vocal range, generate your vocal warm-ups on the spot, and go through an in-depth crash course during the lesson on how to use them. Although I'd obviously be delighted if you continued online vocal lessons with me, you won't be obligated to continue from there. But if you feel I gave you something of value, just drop me a donation on my donate pages linked below, or even just give me a good review on my lesson profile page to help my business along. Hey, this is Tyson Farmer with a walkthrough instructional video on how to use the personalized vocal background tracks I made for you. This one's for the Diaphragm Exercises track with the words Diaphragm Exercises with Ref Pitch in the title. Although your vocal warm-up is like stretching before you exercise, the diaphragm exercises are the actual workout that you were warming up for. That means you have to work a little bit harder at these to get your voice more in shape. This diaphragm exercise should be part 2 of a 2-part process, with your vocal warm-up as part 1 and the diaphragm exercises as part 2. For this reason, I don't recommend doing your diaphragm exercises without a vocal warm-up first. Just like it's not a good idea to do strenuous exercise without at least stretching a little bit first. When you first start this track, you'll hear a note playing for a second or two. This is your starting reference note, so match this pitch with your voice with an ah or a la. Then the track will count off 4 beats and start right into the warm-up. You'll hear a bunch of instruments playing on the background track, but you should also hear a piano melody playing repeated notes over everything else. Sing along with these piano notes like this. Choo, 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 choo. Be sure with each note to emphasize the expelled air of the chew, like you're pretending to blow out a candle that's right in front of you. If it helps, put your hand in front of your mouth so you can actually feel the expelled breath while you're pushing from the diaphragm. Chew, chew, chew. However, the outward breath is only half of this exercise. The second half is the breath back in on each note, as in chew, breath, chew, breathe in, chew, breathe in, like this. Chew, 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 chew. Doing this ensures that you're actually exercising your diaphragm through a full motion up and a full motion down for the breath out and the breath in. In our vocal lessons, I will gradually give you increasingly more challenging things to add on to your diaphragm workout as you progress. But what I've just described is the basic protocol for singing along with the diaphragm exercises track. When you're finished with each round, take a good breath and prepare for the next pitch, like this. Chew, 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 chew. Chew, 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 and so forth. Make sure that you're breathing in just as deep as you're breathing out for each note. Otherwise, you're not really exercising your diaphragm, which is the whole point of this exercise. Let me walk you through an example. I'll start the song. There's my reference starting note, so I match pitch with it. There's the count in, and you can hear the piano playing the repeated notes. It will go down in pitch from there to my lowest singing range. So I'll follow it on down and take a good breath each time to prepare for the next note. Keep following it on down until you hear the drums do a little drum fill, which is your cue that you've reached the lowest part of your range, and the track will start working its way back up in pitch to your highest range. Now up to this point, you've been singing in what's called your chest voice for the lower notes. But eventually you'll reach a place in your singing range that's harder to sing at full volume, especially on the higher notes. This is getting into what's called your head voice range, which will sound very breathy and light. Switching from your chest voice to your head voice takes some practice to do smoothly and might even sound a little rough in your voice. This transition point is called the vocal break. It's like switching between gears, and it takes practice over time to switch those gears smoothly. Either way, you need to be the one to choose when you switch to the head voice using your own judgment. But I recommend you switch earlier instead of later, so you don't struggle trying to sing along through your vocal break at full chest voice. Usually a good rule of thumb is when your voice starts to crack a little bit, it kind of decides for you when it's time to switch. When you do switch, start singing just a single held out note for each go-round. This single note will be the same note you would have repeated before, so you'll just hold out that note while the piano melody plays the repeated notes like before for a rhythmic reference underneath you. For this switch to head voice, sing a little more breathy and light as you work your way up, and create a vibrato on that held out note by pulsing your diaphragm and not your throat, like this. If you're doing it right, your whole body from your waist to your neck should wiggle a little bit from the effort, the same way it does when you're laughing really hard. Experiment here singing with different vowels to see what works for you in the higher ranges, like ah or oo or e. I personally like switching to singing e, but choose for yourself which vowel is easiest. I also recommend starting each of these higher notes with a little more breathiness, like he or ha instead of e or ah. The track will continue in this way until there's a drum fill that tells you it's finished. Your personalized vocal warm-up track is designed to work every single note in your vocal range, from your highest note to your lowest notes. But that doesn't mean you have to sing up to your entire upper range every time. Oftentimes, your voice will start to crack at the higher range, and it will kind of decide for you when it's time to stop the exercise. If your voice cracks and it gets just too difficult to sing on the higher notes, it's okay to just stop the track for that day when you feel like you've reached a logical ending point for this track and done enough for that day. Also, as I mentioned before, the diaphragm exercises are part 2 of a 2-part process, but that doesn't mean you even have to do the diaphragm exercises every single time. Some days you might just feel like doing only your vocal warm-ups and be done with it, and that's okay too. The important part is that you do these vocal exercises often, not perfectly. Remember that for any new skill you want to build, you kind of have to let yourself stink at it for a while at first. So don't get discouraged if things aren't sounding beautiful just yet. Just keep doing the work and let it improve by baby steps. If you were really pushing from the diaphragm as I've described you in the lessons, you should actually feel a little bit tired at the end of your diaphragm exercises workout. That's the sign you know you're doing it right. Feel free to message me if you have any questions about these vocal exercises, and I'll do my best to answer any questions or help you work through them in the lessons.